So many Etsy sellers are using the wrong image setup and it's hurting your clicks, even if your photos are good. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I help Etsy sellers get consistent sales by focusing on what gets you seen and clicked. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact image guidelines that you should be following right now and how to set up your photos so that they continue to work for you even as Etsy tests and changes things. Because this is not just about image size. It's about how your listing actually shows up to buyers. And if you want my process for getting found in Etsy search, I want you to grab your seat to my next live masterclass. I'm going to walk you through the steps for getting daily sales on Etsy. These classes are free and they're live, so don't miss out. Okay, so here's what Etsy officially recommends for photo size on the platform. They recommend that all images are at least 2,000 pixels on the shortest side. And your first image should be at least 635 pixels on the shortest side to avoid getting hurt in search placement. Beyond this, there's no specific size that your images need to be for the platform. So yes, size matters, but that's not the whole story. Because Etsy doesn't just display your images. It crops them differently depending on where they're showing up. Search results, on your shop homepage, on mobile versus desktop, they are displayed differently. And right now, I hate to break it to you, but Etsy is still experimenting with the dimensions for the photos and where they're displayed, especially in search. They announced a couple of years ago that the thumbnail images in search specifically would be moving from a square to a horizontal format. And while they haven't made any new announcements, as of recording this in 2026, you will notice that they are now appearing vertically in most searches. If you are only optimizing for one exact dimension and thumbnail size, unfortunately, you're setting yourself up to get cropped wrong later. One of the best pieces of advice that I can give you to avoid having to retake all of your photos in the future is to make sure that your first image that you want to use as your thumbnail is not cropped very tight. It should be taken from further back and have a lot of space around the edges. That means no matter how Etsy decides to crop or to display those photos in the future, your product is still fully visible, easy to understand, and not cut off in awkward places. And I've seen this so much lately where the photo is actually great, but because it was cropped too tightly in the original image and Etsy has since changed the dimensions that these photos are displayed in, the thumbnail product cut off either the edge or a good chunk of the product. And these images end up just looking off. It sometimes makes it really hard for buyers to figure out what you're even selling because they can't see the full product. And that is all it takes for someone to scroll right past your photo when you have thousands of other listings that are competing against you. So here's the real strategy. Yes, use high resolution images that are at least 2,000 pixels on the shortest edge. But more importantly, give yourself breathing room, don't rely on perfect cropping, and assume that Etsy might change how it's displayed in the future, because they will. And when they do, you want your listing to still hold up. You don't want to have to spend hours going through and retaking photos. If you want help walking through how to use your photos to convert, that's just one of the strategies that I'm teaching inside my next live masterclass. The link to sign up is in the description. And in the next video, we're going to talk about something that trips up even more sellers, which is when your photos actually might be fine, but they're still not getting clicks. And once you see it, you're not going to be able to unsee it.